Hello, 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 everybody, and thank you for coming by. Uh, we're going to wait for a few minutes here, let a couple more people come in, and we'll start talking about tonight's topic. Hey, Ping, how are you? Tina, good to see you. There's a couple of other live shows and a premiere going tonight, so we will take care of this right quick. Turn that off. And I just got an eBay notification. I hate that sound. It almost always means somebody wants something. There's a message from somebody. What is it concerning? What a way to start the show. Let's see if this is craziness or not. Tell you what, we will come over here and do this. Messages from there. I think we may have an internet problem tonight. I know last night I was on with Jake for a couple of minutes. That's Yakov Benz. If you don't follow him, he's kind of fun to watch live. Huh. All righty. Somebody asking for more details on a Rolex watch that I have up for sale, which is kind of what we're going to talk tonight. Cold Coke Zero. Well, I have a little apple juice. Oh, that's good. But let's see. So the eBay message that just came through, I have a vintage Rolex watch up for sale. Somebody's asking for more pictures of the movement. Hey, anytime. How are you? Rosa, nice to meet you. Yeah, my internet is really slow. We've got a lot of bad weather over the last 24 hours, real super high winds, a little bit of rain. Sections of town have been losing power all day, and internet's been real spotty over the last 24 or so hours. No, well, I if he does, I hope he contacts me before he buys one. Yeah. But yeah, but buying watches, especially high-end watches like Rolex, Tudor, Omega, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, all of those big name watches, you have to be very careful when you're buying them, because when you find them in the wild, more often than not, they're going to be fake. Glenn, I remembered this time. How are you tonight? And Roman, yeah, mind blanked for just a moment there when you first came on, but I'm glad everybody's here. One of the best ways to tell real watches or anything of quality, take yourself to an authorized dealer of high-end watches. It doesn't matter if it's Rolex, which is probably going to be the easiest one to find, or Omega. The rest of them you have to really search to find an authorized dealer for. But go into the store, look at the watches, ask if you can handle them, try them on, look at them. Items of quality have a look, a feel, and a heft that most counterfeits will not have. Hey, Gulf Coast Pickers, how are you, brother? But yet, once you go in and you've handled a couple of these watches at an authorized dealer, big high-end $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 watches, go immediately to the nearest department store that you can find, and anything that looks similar, like a dive watch or sports watch or dress watch or anything, ask to see that out of the cabinet and feel it. You will immediately know what I'm talking about when I'm to say the heft and the feel. Hey, Christopher, good to see you in here tonight, brother. Let's see. We now have 7 people in here. That's about half of what we get at the best. Okay, Rosa, thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up on your way out. But let's see, where was I? Look, feel, heft. Yeah, we went over that. You guys may have noticed if you follow me on Instagram that I recently sold a really nice Rolex. And the picture that I posted in on Instagram is a little misleading because it had the full asking price on there. I actually took a best offer on that watch. I sold that watch for $4,646.46 plus shipping. Now, when you sell a Rolex on eBay, eBay gives you no choice, but you have to send it to their authentication center in Ohio, is where the last few that I've sent out have gone. And they look at the watch, they authenticate that it is genuine, but they also match it against your listing to make sure that the item is as delivered or as it's as you posted it, as described. And then they put a seal on it and they send it to the customer. Now, if the customer has a problem with that watch and they want to return it, they have to send it back to eBay first. And then eBay will look and say, yeah, it's the same watch and it has not been tampered with. And then they send it to me. So the scams on Rolex watches have been done away with. It is next to impossible to be scammed when selling high-end watches like Rolex. The insurance, you insure it for whatever it sold for, period. It costs a lot extra, but it is well worth it. I've been mailing high-end watches around the world for decades, and you always, always, always insure it for what it's worth. Knock on some wood. That's plastic. That's marble. There's some wood. I've never lost one, never had one damaged in shipping. There was one watch that was being sent to me that got lost for about a week or so. The label took a little damage, but they were able to figure it out and get it the rest of the way to me. The customer was not happy. They wanted it back immediately. And I'm like, okay, well, it ain't fixed yet. And boxed it up and shipped it to them. And they got mad because I didn't fix it. I'm like, well, you canceled it. Anyway, at $4,646.46, how much of that do y'all think is actual profit? Because this is something you guys, and really anybody who wants to sell online, especially if you want to go full time, there's a little thing called total cost accounting. That's a pretty good guess there, Glenn. Wasn't quite that much, though. Here's the deal. I paid $1,600 for that watch. Go ahead and recalculate and see what you come up with then. Now, I also had to service and repair that watch, but I did it myself with parts that I had on hand, so I don't count that cost. No ping, that's way too much. Now, when I talk about profit, I'm not talking about net pre-tax. I'm talking about total profit that I put in my pocket. This is what I get to keep. I call that how much did I increase my wealth. Now, I got my original $1,600 cost of goods back. Everything that's left over is, after eBay fees, is the net profit that is taxable. I take the tax out, and whatever's left over, that's what I call my total profit, because that's money that's not going in your pocket. So you can't claim that you made $3,000 when $1,000 of that had to go to the government, which, by the way, is just an example. That's not what happened in this case. 2,300, still too high. Everybody is too high. Here's the deal. After I got my cost of goods back out of it, after I paid my eBay final value fees, ping, very close. After I paid my final value fees, I paid for the shipping. And yes, I count that because eBay takes a chunk out of it. Plus, I have to pay extra out of my pocket for the insurance. After I paid for that, the logistics of it all, and I take the tax out of it, I was left with $1,750, give or take a couple of bucks. Here's the thing with total cost accounting. Unless you're the world's best buyer and you can buy things for pennies and sell them for hundreds of dollars, 40 to 60% on average, depending on how well you bought in, goes in somebody else's pocket other than yours. So if you double your money, there's a damn good chance that you've actually lost money. So when you're watching these videos or you're reading posts on social media and they talking about doubling up money or even tripling up money, there's not a whole lot of money being made there. So you got to be careful. Me personally, my minimum buy-in is 5 times the money, with the realization that if the market goes south, I can still get at least 3 times the money. 3 times the money is actually not much better than breaking even. So, anything that's over 5 times the money has a decent sell-through rate. That's an instant pickup for me. Anything less than that, it's got to have an absolutely fantastic sell-through rate before I will consider touching it. It's by the time you account for your time, your gas, the total cost of doing business, 3 times the money just isn't worth it. Doubling up certainly isn't. Doubling up, if you're hustling in the street, that's a different story. You don't have all these fees and stuff. You still have to report it and do your taxes. But if you're selling online, you have fees, and doubling up is not worth it. So, yeah, you'd think out of a nearly $5,000, I'd make a little bit more than $1,700 in profit, but not really. So when you hear businesses claim that they're running on a 20% profit, that's exactly what it is. They're not making 20% above what their cost was. They're getting 5 times their money, and they're ending up with 20% profit out of the gross. So like Rachel Strickland always says, treat your business like a business. Otherwise, it's not a business. And you hear a lot of people, they'll gloss over things. They may mention something or give a few little minor tips here and there, but it's not as impressive or as YouTube worthy or content worthy as the full accounting is. It's not as glamorous as a lot of people make it look. And me selling a Rolex and putting it on social media, it is what it is. I sold something for nearly $5,000, but I didn't really make that much money off of it. Plus, when you're buying into those high-end things, there's a good chance that it takes more than a month or two to sell it. This one took just over 2 months to sell. From the time I bought it, got it repaired, and got it listed. I hope I'm not sitting here talking to myself. I know my internet's been real spotty the last couple of days. There we go. Thank you, Ryan. Ooh, so how's everybody's new year kicking off? You having good sales, making good finds? All right, Roman. I'll be honest with y'all, I forgot what day of the week it was, and I only remembered I had a show starting about 15 minutes before it was supposed to start. Hello, Mama Beth, how are you? Yeah, mine have been slow. I've had a couple of good sales, but if it wasn't for that one Rolex sale, I'd be hurting right now. I don't mind making 4 or 5 sales a day, as long as I'm making some sales every day, as long as the money is moving. Money that sits is not doing anything. It's costing you money for it to sit. Yeah, Glenn, I just opened a Poshmark account last night, and I have saved in my queue to watch on YouTube Poshmark for Beginners. I opened that account last night, and within 20 minutes, I had 20 or 30 followers. I'm like, wow. I did sell another watch today. It's not a nice watch. In fact, I haven't packed it up yet. Let's see if it's where it's supposed to be. It is not. There's one other spot it could be. Oh, this is going to be great. Well, folks, that's not good. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to find it later. I'm not going to make you guys wait on me to find something. Anyway, it's if you run across these in the wild and you can get them only for $1 or $2, you should pick them up. And they're the old red LED or LCD wristwatches, the original digital watches. My store name on Posh is the same as it is everywhere. It's Junk Monkey. I believe I signed in under my Google, so it'll probably be Junk Monkey 541. I have to pull it up and look right here. Turn that on, get it over here. Let's go to my feed. Feed. Part of what might be wrong with my internet is I've got like 50 tabs open right now. Anyway, if you look up Junk Monkey on Poshmark and you see my avatar of the monkey with the sunglasses, that'll be me. Hey, there you are. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'm going to try and figure out Poshmark over the next few days. I've got some, I kind of want to separate some of the stuff that I normally sell on eBay. Like I just found Lucchese boots, men's Prada dress shoes, and I've got a Coach purse and a couple of, nicer apparel type items. I'm going to sell that kind of stuff over on Poshmark. Yeah, Glenn, I saw it come through while I was trying to figure out what my screen name over there is. Yeah, I don't know how to list over there. I don't know how to ship from there. Nothing. Reseller, and she's going to show me the ins and outs. Yeah, I wish I had somebody around here that could show me Poshmark, but there's a lot of pickers and resellers in my area, and all but a couple of them are kind of standoffish and highly competitive. Huh. So, but we get back to what we were talking about, the LED or LCD wristwatches, the red ones. Those things have a bit of a following. And if you can pick them up for less than $5 and go get a battery put in them and test them out, if they work at all, you should get 20 or more. The one that I just sold today is actually an advertising piece of swag, and or what they call it. It was a giveaway from Kool-Aid. So it's got the Kool-Aid man and it says Kool-Aid on it. And I sold that one for a little over $100. That was my wife telling me that dinner was ready. Oh, wait, out here behind the shop, I've got things like fence posts and paving stones and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Pockets, how are you? And over the last few weeks, we've had really bad weather, and some rats, wood rats or something, have made a home back there. And my little dogs can hear them from all the way in the house, and it drives them crazy. They come out here and bark at it all the time. So I got to go find some traps to put out for them. Yeah, that's one thing I want to ask a lot of people about, is that sharing. I don't understand the sharing thing on Poshmark. I don't know why it's not just a listing that people can search for and find, why you have to share it all the time. Do they have the 4x6 shipping labels on Poshmark? Yeah, the cross listing thing, Roman, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Yeah, ping me too. I usually eat a lot later. Okay, Macari is the one that doesn't have the shipping labels. Yeah, well, Christopher, that would cause a major newsworthy incident around here. But I was supposed to have went by the hardware store today after work, but I had to go by an electrical supply company and pick up some parts for a couple of things I'm working on. I don't eat breakfast. I'm fueled by coffee all day, and when I get off of work at 3, I'll go run by my one thrift store that's real work. I come anyway. I was saying, then I'll come home. I'll grab a snack, and that just has to be over until dinner time, which is usually around 8. Let's see over here. Oh yeah, I snack all night long, even after dinner. I keep things like cashews and sometimes the little mini Hershey's chocolate bars. And right before I go to bed, I'll have either a couple of the large pickled olives or pickled okra, and then a glass of milk before I go to bed. I know I should eat breakfast in the mornings, but when I get up in the morning, first thing I do is grab my coffee, and as soon as I'm alert, I get online and I start working. And by the time I get done with all my online stuff, it's time to pack things up and ship them. Then it's time to go drop those packages off, then go work on watches for 4, 5, 6 hours, and go thrift, and then come home and test, clean, and list. So that's why I really don't eat until much later in the day, which probably isn't the most healthy thing for me. I'm just sitting here silent, trying to think of things to say. Why is it we resellers all about food? You know, no matter whose live we're in, we always end up talking about food. Yeah, I my plan for the last several months is October the 1st, 2023, I was going to semi-retire. Not fully retire, I was just going to retire from the public shop, move my workbench and all my tools and parts here to my home shop and just take on nothing but things like Rolex and Omega. But I just found out that due to property taxes going up and insurance rates going up, my mortgage has gone up $100 a month, and every price, everything else is going up. I guess I need to tell you guys that, but something tells me I may not be able to retire this year unless I can pay off a couple of other bills. It wasn't really so much a resolution. It wasn't a resolution. I had this planned, started planning it several months ago. And I actually told them at work yesterday that that was my plan. I don't do the resolution thing. It's just one more item of stress to add to the day when you do that. Just, I do the best I can every day. And if it ain't good enough, well, I'll pick it back up tomorrow. Anyway, folks, this is going to be a short one tonight. The wife has got dinner ready early tonight, and she wants to sit and watch a movie tonight. So I think I'm going to call this one short tonight, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. And thanks to everybody who came by tonight, and we'll see you next week.